So welcome, everyone. Great to see you. Great to have you on board for our August refresher webinar. As you can see, we're going to be talking about nature today and its connection to mindfulness and how we can use nature. And so I'm sure you already do that. In fact, that is one of the things that has come across to me in many of the classes that I've done. Many say that they apply their mindfulness practices to when they're taking a walk outside or walking their dog or just doing whatever they like to do outside. So if you already do that, that's great. Keep doing it. And but I'm going to give you some more ways to consider this. I came across some recent information which I'll share with you. But so let's dive into it. Oh, let me before we do that, also say that this, as well as other of our classes, still qualifies for the Know Your Numbers personal choice activities. And so my understanding is that the last day for biometric screenings is August 16th. And the last day to do your health assessment and document any of the personal choice activities, which this would be one personal choice activity, is August 23rd. And you can get $100 credit for taking one of the EFR classes. And I think you can take up to 2. So if you need to do that and you want to do that, you have sounds like another week and a half to do that. So also, I am recording this. I'm going to put this now, instead of sending out the slides, because it's kind of cumbersome and I'm not sure I get everybody. I'm going to post this on Thrive. You go to you go to live and recorded resources, and I'll post the slides and the recording link. So if you want to have a copy of the slides, there are links in here that you may follow up on, and the recording itself. So they'll be on Thrive. If you have any questions, just follow up with me after the class. All right, so let's just do a kind of a check-in. And first we'll start with a mindful minute. And all I'd like you to do is just pause and turn inward and just kind of ask yourself how you're doing. So just sort of an internal weather check. How's it going for you right now, based on, the last few hours or the last day or so? Just noticing what comes up, thoughts, emotions, sensations in the body. And then imagine a peaceful place in nature. It can be anything, a place that you already know of that you love to go to. It can be completely made up in your imagination. And take a moment in your mind's eye to paint the picture with your senses. So what do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? What do you taste? What do you touch? What do you smell? All those things, just kind of take a moment to really just immerse yourself as you're breathing slowly into this really peaceful scene. Just give you a minute to do that. And then just kind of notice how you feel now. Just do that check-in again. Maybe there's a slight difference. I know it was kind of a quick exercise, which we often do at the beginning of these. But how do you feel? Just do that check-in. Maybe you feel a little bit more peace, a little bit more calm. And I'll talk in a minute about some of the studies that they've done with this and how effective tuning into nature can be for us. But before I do that, let's just ask you and do a quick check-in with everyone. How's it going in your own mindfulness practice? How's it going with your formal practice or your informal practice? And if you want to put a note in the chat, I'd love to see that. And I'll also ask you, what do you need? I kind of put these together monthly. I try to come up with a slightly different theme, although I've done nature before, but a different theme or different kind of focus. So if you have any suggestions about anything you'd like me to try to address, I'm open to that. And but what do you need? What do you need from me, or what do you need in your own practice to keep things going? I think most people need a regular practice. I'll talk a little bit about ways to build your habit or your routine of mindfulness. And what would help? What would help in terms of doing that? So, any comments? Let me know of this. Love to see if you have any questions or comments about how is it going for you, or what would be helpful and what you need. Yeah, so that's an interesting comment. Not sure why, but it seems like I have a hard time with practices in the summer. I will get back on track. So, I find the same thing because summer is a little bit different. And so anytime there's different routine or different, you're doing different activities, I think I tend to be busier. I tend to be doing other stuff. So to me, it's taking your mindfulness skills and applying it to those different things. So maybe it's not so many formal meditations that you're doing, but maybe trying to take some of the informal practices and applying it to, and this is one of the reasons why I did nature as a topic. So, just getting out there. We can take a walk in the woods, but I want to talk a little bit about how we can be intentional to make that a mindful practice, to really bring your awareness to what's going on as you do that, as you get in touch with nature. So another comment, regular practice works for me before my morning coffee. So yeah, I mean, that's a good reminder that it's really good to have a set time if you can. And that does get thrown off when our routines change. So having a set time. And another comment about having a hard time practicing. So having a set time, making that intention, even doing small, brief practices or even informal practices is great. And, I love this last comment here. I feel I'm able to feel the sunshine, hear the birds, and feel the breezes of summer. So even if you can do that in your imagination, that's what this webinar is all about today. So hopefully I'll give you some more tips and tricks and ways to do that. I like to regroup after work. Good. By sitting out on the deck for 10 or 15 minutes, enjoying the birds singing and looking at the garden. So there's another regular time after work. It probably helps you decompress a little bit after work. But so that, I think that's another tip. What time works for you, and what time, especially if there's a change in seasons and that throws you off, or a change in routine. I just went away for a few days and that threw me off completely. But I kind of had to find some ways to fit it in and do some things to integrate what I like to do into that new setting. So thank you for those comments. Really brings up a number of things. So moving on to the mini lesson for today is, what do the research studies show about nature and how they can make a difference for us? So I'll start with this. This is from Happiness Breaks, and I'll show you some links for this. Happiness Breaks are from the Science of Happiness. Dacher Keltner is the host. It's a podcast, but they also have, when I send you the link, you'll see the website. And they do have full episodes, but they have these brief episodes called Happiness Breaks. And so as this is straight from the script that he says, one of our most popular practices, noticing nature. Essentially, it asks you to take a few minutes to appreciate the natural world in whatever form is around you and notice how it makes you feel. And there's a lot of scientific research. He happens to be I believe, a neuropsychologist, and studies the awe and nature. So he's done a bunch of these recently. And again, I'll show you those links in a minute. There's a lot of research showing that just a little burst of nature, just noticing nature, makes you feel positive emotions like awe and inspiration, and makes you more altruistic and kind. It gives you a sense of interconnectedness and reduces our feelings of loneliness, sort of shifts activation in the prefrontal cortex and the default mode network in ways that are good for psychological health. And again, he is a researcher, so he then references in our lab. We even found that nature videos, and I've got a bunch of those too that I can show you, that can lead us to see more common ground with people who are really different from us. And boy, we could certainly use that these days. So nature is one of the great antidotes to the struggles of our times. And you can certainly save this practice. He's talking about the practice that this is from, but I'll show you that in a sec. And try that somewhere special. So find beauty in nature wherever you are. So this is when you go, if you want to find the slides, again, I'm going to post them on Thrive under live and recorded resources. And yes, so comment here, noticing trees, the way branches grow. Good. Different directions, noticing all the different types. Excellent. So you're really kind of being very specific and focusing on that. Makes my spirit calmer. Yes, doesn't it? And yes, I mean, so this particular slide shows 5 different happiness breaks, all related to nature. As you can see, different focus. The first one, how to ground yourself in nature, he says that this is his intro to that one. It helps us connect to the actual land we're standing on right now, and the belief that connecting with the natural world improves our well-being appears repeatedly through recorded history. And it's at the heart of his research on awe. Immersing ourselves in nature calms the nervous system. It reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and it elevates vagal tone, which is, again, good for the reducing the stress fight or flight response. It's linked to pro-social tendencies like increased generosity, kindness, creativity, and even less ideological polarization. And it's a great way to help with anxiety and fear. There's a host of other benefits. Why? He says, because I think immersing ourselves in nature really quiets down the hard voices of the 21st century. Those voices include materialism, consumerism, and transactionalism, and the us versus them way of thinking. So check some of these out. These are all pretty brief practices. I've done most of these, and they're really good. They're like 10 minutes. They're guided, and you can get them right on the podcast. Those links will take you right there. Or just search for the Science of Happiness podcast, and you'll see a category of happiness breaks. And you'll find all of them there. They come out with a new one every week. All right, so those are those to try. And then what I'd like to do now is, this is an example of a nature video. This is about a 1-minute video, and I'm going to try to do this direct from here, and hopefully you can see this. This is something I took with my iPhone while on vacation a couple of years ago. So I'm going to give this a try. Let's hopefully see how this works. I'm going to make it full screen. No, just going to, it's not going full screen. I'll pause it for a second. Can you guys all see this? It actually shows my full playlist of nature videos, but can you see this okay? Somebody
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'll just play this for a minute. Just take this minute, even just watching this video, listening to the sounds, and just kind of put yourself there and just try to mindfully keep your attention there as best you can.
But there's no sound.
Thanks. Yeah, I think what happened there is I didn't hit the optimize button, so apologize for that. So just imagine the sounds. There's only a few seconds left, and I'll show you where you can get these. So just imagine the waves. You can hear some seagulls in the background. So that was a minute. There's another one just to give you another brief taste of my mom's backyard in Maine, which I just took one day. There's not really any sound to this anyway. You can just sort of see just a couple of minutes. I won't do the whole 2 minutes. But even natures, I've got a whole bunch of these, which I'll show you the link for that too. Different ones that you can check out if you're interested. Just really brief 1 to 2 minute videos as a way, if you can't get into nature, maybe you can't get outside or you want to just pull up a video or make your own videos. That's another way that you can tap into that. So, all right, so I'm going to, let's see if I can get back to my slides. So back to the slide here. You see this slide here now? We'll go to the next one, which shows a path. Everybody see this okay? Okay, great. So this brings us to our meditation for today. And last month, if you weren't with us last month, I decided to just do one longer meditation. Before that, I had been trying to squeeze in two, and it always felt a little bit rushed. So I'm just going to do one good full meditation. And this, of course, is all about nature. So going to combine a couple, and it does bring the image of a tree into it and being grounded. So let's just start by finding a good position where you can feel nice and connected and grounded. So you could be sitting or standing, either way, but just take a moment to sit comfortably or stand comfortably and feel that sense of connection that your body makes. And we're just going to begin with anchoring our attention to the breath as we come into this present moment. We use the breath as our guiding force. And this is our anchor for our awareness. It's inhale, rising, and then the exhale, falling. And just follow the breath as we continue. And now get a sense of feeling where you are sitting or standing. And feel how this element is holding you up. You're being supported in every moment. So just relax your body, your whole posture. What we're doing when we're grounding is we're allowing the earth element to support us. And this sense of grounding and practice of grounding is also really about connecting to the earth. So as you sit and you breathe, let go of anything that you're carrying. We give it up to the earth. We allow the energy of the ground to hold everything up. Almost like we allow ourselves to dissolve and allow the energy of this ground to hold you up. Now the mind might carry you away. That's always going to happen. So the more we come back into the body, the more we feel this groundedness. Feel the earth body beneath you. The earth is strong, steady, and rooted. So when I think of the practice of grounding, I always imagine that I'm a tree, that my energy is like a tree with the roots going all the way down to the center of the earth. When we look at some of these beautiful trees, we see their roots go out deep into the earth. So bring the image of a tree into your own mind's eye. It can be a tree that you're familiar with. It can be a tree that you totally make up in your imagination. And allow the setting to be natural and serene and just feeling and getting a sense of this large, majestic, beautiful tree. And it's very safe and enjoyable. You picture the tree tall and strong, its roots reaching into the earth, anchoring firmly in the ground, symbolizing the state of being grounded in stillness, embodying the essence of presence. And use all of the senses to immerse yourself in the tranquil beauty of nature. Feel the earth beneath your feet, grounding you, the breeze against your skin. Continue to relax and find joy, and lean on the support of the tree, taking comfort of its shade and support from its trunk. You can feel the tree's grounding energy. And again, connect with the breath, just its natural rhythm, just as the tree sways gently. And allow the breath to flow effortlessly in and out. Continue to focus on your breath and feel the body rooted like the tree's roots. A sense of stability and unwavering strength, deep-rooted presence. Now shift to sounds of nature around you. Perhaps the rustling of leaves, the song of birds, the flow of the breeze, the soundtrack of your meditation. Draw in energy of the natural world like the tree drawing nourishment from the earth. With each exhale, release thoughts, worries, allow them to dissipate into the vastness of nature. As you continue to breathe in the energy of the tree and the earth. Notice how your body and mind become attuned to the stillness. As you inhale, imagine roots extending from the soles of your feet, grounding you further. As you exhale, imagine releasing any tension and stress into the earth. feel a stability and calm through your being as you embody the energy of the tree. From the tree, you learn the art of grounding yourself in the present moment. Like the tree, you can weather the storms of life, knowing that beneath the surface, your roots run deep, providing stability and support. Just as the tree remains anchored in the now, you see the value of embracing each moment with open-hearted presence, where it's in the present that life truly unfolds. You are not separate in the world, but an integral part of life and nature. Interconnectedness of all of us, like the trees connected to each other and all of nature. Allow yourself to sense the wonder and awe of the tree and all of nature, and feel the gratitude that may arise. And carry this sense of rootedness and mindfulness throughout the day, which can bring you stability and tranquility rooted in the present moment. So as we close this meditation, you might finish by placing a hand on your heart and just offering some kindness, feeling this sense of well-being and joy. May this body be happy and peaceful. And so as we finish, you can open your eyes if they've been closed. Maybe take another last deep breath and reconnect with your surroundings. And I thank you for joining me in that meditation. And just notice what that all felt like. And I'd love to hear any comments if you'd like to share them in the chat. All right, so many of you may have seen this before, but I thought it was apropos. So the practice of rain, which I've talked about in the mindfulness classes, which is an acronym. So RAIN is the R is simply to recognize what's happening in the moment. This is good for when we feel a little bit of stress, a little bit of an emotional tangle, a little bit of something difficult going on. So recognize what's happening, just stop and pause. Might be noticing thoughts, emotions, body sensations. The A is to allow life to be just as it is. So just let it be. So often we try to, push the hard stuff away. So the A is just to allow it to be as it is. And then the I is to investigate your internal experience with kindness. So whatever that might be, whatever you might be noticing, even if it's, a difficult reaction or response to this situation, bring that attitude of self-kindness and self-compassion to the exercise. And then finally, the N is simply either non-identification. So in other words, this helps us to step back and not overly identify with what's going on through this struggle. So we can not be, the main actor in the scene, but we can step back from it a little bit. Or the N you can think of as just nurturing yourself. So either way, nurturing or non-identifying with that situation. So that's RAIN. And so that's a practice that you might continue. Find that helpful. I noticed there are some comments here. So great. So calming, very good. Got lost in thought a few times. That happens, right? That's kind of a natural process, and happy to return to the meditation. Felt great. Thank you. You're welcome. Very relaxing. I was visiting my childhood home. Very good. And my favorite tree there. Yeah, that's a great one. I have one of those too. Now you bring that up. I hadn't thought about that tree for years, but there was a tree, a red maple that we used to climb. It was a pretty big red maple. It was a great climbing tree for kids and it was beautiful. So yeah, so you can bring up those remembrances as well. So before we close, we still have good few more minutes. Um, Came across this just just another kind of reinforcement of our mindfulness habit and the literal power of small steps. This is from Shimas Aladina, who I'm on his newsletter, which comes. You can get that. I can either send you the link if you're interested, or you can just search him, Shamash Aladina. So he talks about this experiment that they repeated a number of places. The researcher picked two random groups of people from an office that don't exercise regularly. With one group, they give them gift vouchers to buy gym shoes and clothes, and they offer free access to a gym for 6 months, and they get everything they need to get started at the gym. The other group, they just say, on Monday, walk up one flight of stairs. On Tuesday, do the same, but add just one step. And on Wednesday, one more step again. And in the same way, just keep adding an extra step every day. Which group do you think were fitter, happier, and had healthier blood pressure even 3 years later? Well, it was the walking group, not the one that was given everything that was, the gym membership and all the equipment and so forth, but simply the small steps of that one flight of stairs and adding one step every day. They did better even 3 years later as they followed them. And this experiment obviously shows the power of taking small steps, literally. So see if you can apply that to your mindfulness practice or any other healthy habit formation for that matter. And you can do that, just one small thing that you can do every day and just kind of build on that. So just to give you some homework in a sense, home practice, something maybe to uh, integrate and strengthen your practice. So a formal practice, and I've mentioned this before, 12 minutes is great. If you can do 10 to 12 minutes for a formal practice, and I'll give you a bunch of ways to do that, is really the optimal. That's, research has actually shown that that's the optimal time per day. Some people do longer, some people do 20 minutes. Some do 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening. That's quite a solid regular practice. But even just going for 10 to 12 minutes, you're going to experience the optimal benefits of mindfulness meditation. Now, the 3 minutes minimum, just if you can't do 12 minutes, just do 2 or 3 minutes. That's really all it takes. And if you can, go for every day, but maybe take a day off or two. So go for 5 to 6 days a week. So that's kind of the trick there. And then obviously see if you can find ways to connect with nature daily, even if it's just with a video. Maybe practice the rain exercise, and take a hike, get out in nature. Even just a quick one. I just went out with my dog uh, this morning just to kind of get out there and try to use that as a way to kind of connect for that 10-15 minute brief walk. And the concept of meandering, this is from Mark Coleman. We had him speak to us a year or so back. He's kind of an expert on nature and meditation. And his practice suggestion was meandering. So, in other words, when you go out there, don't go out like with a hike, you're going out to get somewhere, right? You're maybe going out to reach a certain spot on the trail or a particular view or something like that. His suggestion was just to meander, just to walk around and just follow your senses and to just, at least for that period of, meditation and mindfulness, just take a few minutes or even the whole hike to just meander and just kind of follow your nose. So that's another way to kind of try that and just notice using your senses. uh, what's going on in the moment. You're, of course, going to get caught up. Your mind is going to remind you of all sorts of things that got to be done. Just when that happens, just let that go. They'll still be there, and come back to your meandering or your hike or whatever it is you're doing out in nature. The other thing that I'll suggest is whatever you like to do. Like I'm a cyclist, so when I get out there on my bike, I like to try to take part of my rides to just bring that mindfulness practice to it. So you can do that with walking or running or, whatever outdoor activity that you like to do. Um, Try to bring some mindful awareness to the activity. So again, some resources to support your practice, our EFR website. There are 30 plus guided meditations. In fact, there's a number that are related. And before I end, I'll try to pull that up so you can see. There are a number under the guided imagery section. There's one on the forest, on the ocean, on the lake, and the mountain. There's one that combines them. So check those out. Again, there's plenty of apps that you can try. A lot of them have nature-related meditations. And of course, you know about our monthly mindfulness refresher because you're here today, but hopefully you can join me again next month and succeeding months. And then on my YouTube channel where I upload all these classes, so the links that you get will take you to that. But also this particular, I've got an active link here. This takes you to that nature video playlist, which has about 20 to 30 different quick nature videos. So you might want to check that out. I'll show you a couple things before we close too. Again, just a reminder about the M Life app that you can get through our program. You go to this, actually, this is the same link to take you to the meditations. That's the home page. You'll see on the home page, take a break relaxation audios. That takes you to the meditation page. Or if you scroll down, you'll also see the eMindful or M Life. That's the app. And that's where you can register if you're not already registered. We, of course, still do the phone meditations, so hope you can join me for some of those. Those are on all different kind of topics. And I thank you. Thank you very much. And so I'm going to stop this share before we close. We still have a few minutes. And let me know if you have any questions. See, there's a couple of chats. Good. Very relaxing. Yes, saw that one, right? Beautiful, grounding. That is, that's a good question. I have not recorded this one, but you could go back to this recording and follow that. You could fast forward right to that particular spot. That would be one way to do that. Good. Yeah, I'm glad you like that small steps approach. It's really good for building a habit. EM also offers classes. Thank you for saying that. Interactive. Yeah, they're live and on-demand classes. So it's really a good website. Thank you for those nice comments. Thank you very much. I'm going to stop this, just kind of show you if I can do this. Stop this share and start a share again. I'm going to show you figure this out. To do is escape out of this, go here. So hopefully you can see this. This is the EFR Carillon Wellbeing site. And I'm going to go back to the home. When you first pull it up, this is what you see. And this is what I was talking about. There's lots of different ways you can start to access services for the program right here. Find a counselor, legal, financial assistance, work life, wellness topics, other support, critical incident response. And these are our take a break is where you go into here. There's also specific topics that change every month, and then you can scroll down. This is where the eMindful, where you can find that. It says listen now. I'm not sure why they say listen now, but click on that listen now. It takes you to the registration page. And then lots of different things. They have webinars on here as well. trending topics, of course, that are kind of timely. Back to school anxiety, healing power of music. I should do a webinar on that someday. And then you can explore more. So lots of good stuff here. But I'll take you. So if you go to this, you scroll down and you go to this, take a break with meditations. And this is where all the meditations are. Some basic ones to start off: reduce stress and relax. There's a bunch of those. COVID related, those are from our COVID time, but they really apply to any time. Special focus ones, as you can see there. And then finally, the guided imagery section. So these are all kind of nature related ones, if you want to go to those. All right. So with that, I will say thank you very much. And any questions before we close? Thank you for the thank yous. Namaste and peace to you all. And stop the share here. Actually, let me stop the recording. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it. And hope we can come in, gosh, September.